Anyways, I am here working on apothecary is going to look like from above. Some of these other plan I wanted like a round, almost like tower-like thing here in the front, so I could put a bottle on top of it, potion bottle. And I've had a few different designs that this one here Google was helping me with, but I didn't like the way that this was going. It wasn't just really meh how to do this. Uh, Google did help me with the pattern up here, and honestly, I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like it's trying to say some kind of message up there. So all this here was my idea, not my idea, but like it was. There was a video that I was watching that I really enjoyed, and yeah. Just a side note, everyone, it's almost Christmas time, um, and I really do hope that everyone is having a great holiday season. Um, but I think we should take a moment and look back at this year. And, things that we've done, things we've said, things we've misinterpreted, things we've said. I think we should take a look back at that and say, okay, I really screwed up this year. I hurt this person's feelings, or I made this wrong assumption, or I really messed up and hurt somebody. Even if you didn't mean to do it, even if you didn't, it was a misunderstanding and people's feelings got hurt. I think you should reach out. I think you should apologize, and say, hey, I'm sorry. This was a complete misunderstanding. This was not my intention. How can we fix this? How can we move forward? Because it's getting that time of year where we're going to start making our New Year's resolution plans. And I think that's, a very good stepping stone. It's just look and say, hey, I screwed up. I did this. I'm sorry. You know, or, reach out to the person who hurt you. You know, and those assumptions were wrong and baseless. You know, and just apologize. You know, it's not hard. Does it feel great to have to apologize? No, and all of us know that. But, it doesn't feel good to have to apologize for something. But the people we hurt, the people I don't want to say degrade because but the people that we hurt with our actions, with our assumptions, with our belief we're right, even when someone's trying to explain that that's not the case, that hurts them in a lot of ways. And it's not fair to them to be hurt in that way. It's not fair for them, the people who have gotten hurt, to feel that way. You know, I've made assumptions in the past and I've been wrong. I've learned over these years, don't assume you know. Don't assume that just because someone's doing something or honestly does something that you automatically assume, oh, well, this is something that they want or something that they, don't assume that. Just my advice for this year. So, needless to say, we have our potion maker and it has been updated. There is a couple of other updates you can do, something to do with a redstone lamp or copper bulb. I mean, sorry. I haven't figured out the whole copper bulb thing yet. So you are going to want to update it, and this is only works for Bedrock because the original video was for Java Edition, which Java Edition honestly does not work for Bedrock. I'm sorry. So here we have our golden carrot, which was lit up because I was blowing around with it. So golden carrot, rabbit's foot, sugar, magma cream, pufferfish, glistening melon, spider eye, gas tier, blaze powder, turtle shell helmet, phantom membrane, fermented spider eye, which requires a spider eye, sugar, and I believe a mushroom to make. Don't quote me on that because I'm not really. Then you have the Wither Rose, the new Breeze Rod Stone, and you also have uh, Slime Block. Now there is one I'm missing on this one. I was tired when I was doing this, so you actually going to have more than this. You're also going to have a cobweb on one of these. Okay, so then for the modifiers, you have redstone, gunpowder, glowstone, and dragon's breath, and then you have nether wart. Now you can make other potions, mundane potions, thick potions, which are useless within the game, without having to use the nether wart, but most usable potions, or actually should I say, all usable potions start with nether wart. There are a handful of potions where you can make them and not need a nether wart base. So you're gonna go ahead and set this up, and you're gonna want, oh, let's see how many, 22 of these. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 of these potion ingredients plus 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So yeah, 22. Plus 4 modifiers and the base. Okay, and I do want to give a shout out to White Sun Paladin, who did get this from another Redstone YouTuber who I have no idea what the character's name was. But go check out that video. It's rather old and does need updated. And he'll list the person that he got it from. So then we're going to go ahead and take a look behind here. And I built this full model so that you could see. And now if I were to do this, and I was to have this down here and none of this back here, it would literally just be this piece, and then these pieces, along with this. And this would look so much different. Let me see if I can. I did build this in the world elsewhere. Don't mind my world. It is an absolute disaster of me and creating things. So yeah, this area is a complete and utter disaster area. Um, where did I put the original one at? That's not it either. Okay, well, I obviously don't have the original design because I did. Oh, wait, here's the original design. So I had to modify this because this was not shooting anything out when it was active. So the original design, this is the back of it. And it's set up just like the rest of it is, except for this blue line of dust here, all the way down, and then this one is different. But again, see, there's one nether wart in there, and if I hit this, it's still one nether wart. This wasn't depositing anything into the hopper line to go down. So this design, again, only works on Java Edition. My design, or I should say, my redesign will work on Java or Bedrock because it's based on Bedrock. Okay, so the whole redesign is this. This repeater, so when this gets powered here, this powers the repeater. The repeater sends power to this block and splits the power. So the power goes up to this, which extends this block. Extends, sorry. Then the redstone power also travels along here using the repeater. It all goes up here, and it kind of staircases its way up to this repeater. This repeater then gets power, which then sends power through this block. Okay, so I can turn on any one of these, and yes, you will get power all the way through all these redstone lines until this point. This block here, because this block here is not getting powered because it's not pushed up like the rest of them, this one here will not get any power to the dropper that's going to be sitting right here in front of them. So that is one good feature about this one in general. I had to redesign this completely because the other one was not working because I realized, stupidly, it's for Java. So moving on, I made a bit of I built this one kind of backwards to that one. And I have a slight tendency to build things backwards. Instead of, going one direction or the other or the direction it's supposed to go, I built it backwards. And I have that really bad habit of doing that. So again, you have all 17 here, or supposed to be 17, or 22, I mean, in total, but 17 along here. So again, the back is the same until you get to this portion. You need a dropper facing up so that so let's say, for example, okay, I put in this, right? So we're going to hit the switch. Power is supposed to go up here to this. And for some reason that didn't work today. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that. That's supposed to power that. I know this works because I've used it. The power gets split, the power goes into that, and that's supposed to have items get shot through. Okay, that's not working right for some reason. Okay. So anyways, this is the barrel into through the hopper and into this, and then there is going to be hoppers along. Now, let me show you real quick that this is working because I have had it working. I can't figure out at the moment why it's not want to work. Ignore my contraptions. Okay, so in here, currently sitting, is potions and regeneration. I'm going to go ahead and hit this button. That's going to go down, and it's going to give me new potions, which is just water bottles. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to flip this switch once. And that is going to send another one. There it is, all the way down. Okay, so as you can see that this one here is working. Okay, so let's say I want night vision. I'm going to hit the switch here. I'm going to turn this one off, and I want to extend it, so I'm going to put a redstone dust in it. Okay, so as you can see, all these are lit up, but the other one's not. Maybe I missed a redstone. Okay, so the other one was just literally my experiment. Did I miss a redstone dust somewhere? No, I did not miss a redstone dust somewhere, so where am I not getting power? Getting power all the way across here. Let me test something over here. Ah, nope. Now I'm getting power. Okay, so I gotta figure that out now. I apologize about that, guys. That was not that was an accident. Okay, so let me see the difference. This one's getting power. I did not mean to do that. Okay. Do. Sorry, guys. I'm in dits today. So I did have the machine right. Where I messed up what was these back blocks. So this block here, I'm gonna go ahead and fix that real fast. And this is what happens when you mix up where things are supposed to go. Because I'm going to go ahead and use red, and I'm just going to go like that. And I'm just going to go and do this because I already have red in my inventory, you know, and I'm just not, meh. Okay, so then we're going to do that, and then we're going to have our glass. Because I forget that even with glass on the bottom, excuse me, that we can pass through glass, but it will not pass through a solid block. So whereas this one works, the redstone dust is not coming down because this is a solid block. And over here, because this one's glass, it's coming down through. So there is my error. So I'm not going to fix the rest of this, but I'm going to fix that at least to show you guys. So the next portion is this one. This is where it starts to get complicated. Now there is a 2 wide gap here, which is not supposed to be a 2 wide gap. It's supposed to be a 1 wide gap. And this is supposed to be moved over. I just have it separated so you guys can see clearly. So here is the entire system so far. It's the exact same as this, only this one's a bit smaller. So on the front side here, we're going to have 3 blocks down here. You're going to have a redstone torch, a barrel and or chest, and just a regular stone here. And then you're going to have on either side of that chest a button and some glowing item frames where you're going to have your item. So this one here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab that out of here. Move stuff out of here, and then the other one, you come in here, and there it is. Just gonna do that. So this one here is going to be your water bottles. This one here is going to be your blaze powder, and this is your setup. Okay, so back here, you're gonna have a hopper feeding into my, well, in this case, my barrel. You are going to have a, what is it called again? I want to call it a chemistry. Okay, brewing stand, sorry. You're going to have a brewing stand. On top of that, you're going to have to shift click in, or in this case, I hit the X button and I hit the R3 button to crouch. Then you are going to have a hopper facing in from the, well, looking at from my right side where your uh, blaze powder is going to be at. You're going to have a hopper facing down and in, and you're going to have 2 hoppers, one facing into the back, and that second hopper facing into the hopper that's pointing into the back. So basically, when you have items that are coming through your filter, when you're going to have items coming through, it's going to be going through in this manner. It's going to be shooting all the way down the hoppers from inside of these here. So then it's going to go down this hopper and into our brewing stand. Okay, again, and I still have this backwards, so ignore that part. Refer to this if you need to. Just refer to that. Which one was I just talking about? Yeah, it was this one. Okay, so here is our next step. And this is what I meant by the 1 block wide gap instead of the 2 block wide gap. Because the 2 wide block gap makes it more, it gives you a little bit more room to work, but it really messes with your head later. Okay, so again, you have the barrel up here feeding into your dropper. Your dropper is facing up, feeding into this hopper line and coming down. You have a barrel which will have your blaze powder in it. You have your item here, which let's just put a blaze powder there, which would be your redstone item. This is getting powered but this here is not getting powered because again, I messed up and built it uh, backwards when it comes to between the glass and the block here. These two just need to be switched again. So again, you're gonna have you're just adding basically this chest and this step here, and you are and that's pretty much it. You're just adding a chest up here. And I'm breaking this down so it's simpler because some of the videos I've seen, and it took me forever to figure this out because some of the videos just not very clear. Okay, so again, we have the exact same setup right here, and I've broken this down even again. So because I didn't want to have to build into the ground, I will be adjusting how high this is. So here you're going to build your, let's just, we'll call it, use pink. So you're going to be using your pink, building your pink circuit. So again, here is your one wide high level potion ingredients thing. And sadly, every time you use it, you have to flick the lever up and down. I mean, you could probably push a button, which will send a pulse long enough through here. And I've not tried that yet. Actually, I want to try that because I want to see if a button will give us enough of a pulse that we can get an item out of here. So let's put, I've got two of these right now. Let's just put one in here and see if a button will give us an extended enough pulse to do it. Because I really don't like having to flick the lever up and down just to get my item. So let's try this. Yes, it did, and my button has gone somewhere. Or no, my redstone, sorry. Oh, right, there's my redstone. Okay, so yeah, you can, instead of using the lever and having to flick the lever multiple times, you could use a button and just have to push the button multiple times. Either way, doesn't really have a, doesn't matter. So again, here I was adjusting this because I didn't, but, so back to the pink circuit. Under your button, which is this one here, you're going to put a redstone dust. You're going to go one over and one down, place another 3 redstone dust, leading into a block. And this is why you want the one wide gap between here and here. So you're going to have this, because this, if you don't do it right, this will interfere with this. Because this will be stuck underneath of this, yeah, and not fun. Okay, so then it's going to lead into a repeater. You're going to leave that repeater at 1 tick, which is going to lead into another block with a redstone dust on top of it. Into that block, you're going to have another block, a redstone torch, a comparator, looking at the back of this hopper, which will be reading the contents of this hopper. Then from there, you're going to have another block coming out one. You're going to have a block next to that with another comparator on it, sorry, reading the contents of this hopper. Now, this is very important. Okay, and that is my pink circuit so far. Moving on, we are now going to be going and doing our red circuit. Okay, and this is where things start to get really fun. So again, I went and raised this up by 2 and 1 block back so I can hit all the buttons and stuff. And everything's the same except until you get to this point. Okay, so everything down here is the same, but now you're going to be above your second hopper from that's going into the back of this. This is where your water bottles are going to be. So I'm going to go pick up some water bottles right now. And we're just going to have a little bit of fun. Okay, let me go pick those up. We're going to insert those water bottles into our... And you need to prime the system. So I'm going to quickly prime the system. Okay, for some reason my water bottles are getting dispensed, and instead of going in, they're getting sucked right back in. There we go. Oh, wait, I know why. Okay, so let me explain this real fast. Okay, I got two in there. Okay, so when you're doing this here, um, and I need to make this very clear because obviously I'm being a dork. So you're going to want to have this thing completely full. Let me just move all this out of my inventory real fast because it's currently frustrating me. Okay, so you're going to want this to be completely full because you're not going to want any water bottles to come back in because that's what it likes to do. It's a dispenser. It'll just, so if, hold on. So, sorry about that, guys. If you're using just a, if you're using a dropper, it'll drop the item, but it will not fill the item. Okay, so this one here, okay, so now we got two bottles here, so we're gonna hit it 3 more times. Now see, the bottle goes out, the water bottle it gets pulled in by the hopper. And it's not going back into here because there's no room. And now this is completely full. You have 3 down here. So that's how that. So you do want to prime the system. I made the mistake of at this end not priming the system before I did this, and I could not get it to prime it afterwards. So prime it at this step before you go anywhere else. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and do our red circuit. On this side, above the hopper that's directly to the back, you want to put a solid block, which will be catty corner to your barrel, which is going to have your blaze powder in it. Next to directly across from there, on this side of the hopper, just up above it, you want to have a glass block and a button. Above this comparator here that you put down earlier, you're going to have a observer facing into it, an observer facing into that, and then you're going to have this observer reading this observer, a redstone dust, and your solid block. Now, every time you hit this button, this comparator reads this thing and it'll shoot up a signal, sending the signal all the way here to this one to send a bottle forward to this one. Because if this was a dispenser, the bottle would go in and come back out. And it would suck bottles out instead of. So that's why this one needs to be a dropper and this one needs to be a dispenser. So you're gonna have a dispenser facing into your waterlogged area. You're gonna want to put a temporary block there to put this on, or to put this facing that way, and then have this one facing that way. Then you're gonna want to add your water. Don't add your water until after all this block, and this block, and then the observer are in place. It doesn't matter about this observer or this observer as long as you have the main blocks in place, you can put the water in. Okay, with that said, that is your red circuit. So now we are going to go ahead and move on to our next circuit. And yes, I know I'm using random colors again. So we are going to talk about our purple circuit. And down here, instead of using pink, I used blue. Again, this is still our pink circuit down here, even though it's blue now. So then we're going to talk about our purple circuit. And in here, facing into your barrel, you want an observer, so the base is looking at the barrel. When the status change in this, where it goes up, this will power this redstone here, repeater here. Below this observer, you want a redstone block because it'll lock this hopper and this hopper. And below that, you want a regular piston, not a sticky piston, a regular piston. Coming out from that regular piston, you want a solid block, which is our purple block. This one here was a different color. It was pink originally, and then I changed it to purple because this is part of our purple circuit. So you're going to have a block here, a block here. Coming next catty corner from this comparator, you're going to have a sticky piston with a observer facing this direction, which, and let me see if I can, that's my red concrete. Let me get a redstone block so I can show you. So when there's an update like that, that'll happen. That'll go up, that'll come, wait long enough, come back down, because it'll power this, which will power this, which will send it back down, which gives this just long enough to empty its water bottles. And again, I didn't do anything with this, so this isn't even, so I'm not really, because this is just me messing around. Again, we're going to work on our purple circuit. So again, facing into our barrel that's going to hold our blaze powder, you are going to have an observer observing the barrel, a redstone block below it, a regular piston below that. You're going to have a block coming out and a piston facing toward out this direction, so the power is going toward to that piston. A piston to power this, to move this over. This is why you want the one block gap, because if you're playing on bedrock, this is your problem right here. Again, I showed you the original machine, which does not work on bedrock, hence why there has to be a one block gap. So just above this observer behind, you're going to have a solid block leading to a repeater. The repeater putting into a block, another repeater, a redstone dust, another solid block, a repeater, another solid block, and our second regular piston going down. And that is your purple circuit. Next, again, we're still working with purple and pink, and our pink circuit is still blue. Don't mind me. So you've already built this piece here within the last one. So this one here is your red block from the original next to your glass block. Okay. You're going to have a comparator coming out from there and going into, so right next to this comparator, which is the one observing this hopper, which is the one for your water bottles, you're going to have another solid block right here. Now, this solid block doesn't really do much except for it holds your comparator. You're going to have that comparator going into a solid block, and then 2 redstone dust coming out from that position. From there, you're going to have a sticky piston facing down with an observer. So when this observer is back up, that's going to release that. Okay, so which would then power this block, powers this repeater, powers into this, which then powers the redstone torch on the other side of this, and the comparator above there. And that is the rest of your purple circuit. Probably should have changed that color, but okay. But that also, when this one gets depowered, also powers this, which causes this to push over, this to go up, and then a few seconds later, this goes back down once this is repowered. Or depowered, sorry. So, looking at this, you can see everything that you've done so far. So, we're going to go right here to this one, which is our bottler. This is the automatic portion. So when this is on, it's going to light this redstone torch, which will set everything up automatically to continuously brew, which doesn't work because the way that this one's set up in Bedrock, your ingredients are not constantly getting spit out. I could fix that, but I'm not going to. So below this redstone lamp, you're going to have a redstone dust down and going in one into a block, which is right next to your original torch. You're going to have a torch on that, And above that, you're going to have a block with a comparator on it. You're going to have another block with a redstone torch on it, which is reacting to this lamp. Then you're going to have a redstone torch, a dropper facing up into this dropper facing into this hopper will then put the item into this dropper, which then this comparator will read, turn off this switch, which will then unpower this, sending the machine into its automatic mode by reading the comparators. Now, normally here you would have, let me get this out instead of my redstone. Okay, so normally you'd have a block here and a block here to set these up, and then delete those and then add your redstone torch. So that is your automatic brewing station, which I already kind of showed you how it is supposed to work. Down here on this other machine. So this is the back of the machine as it sits now. This is the final product. This is an upgraded version because originally, and this is why I did this, and I'll go and quickly show you this, because I really don't like the way this looks. So this was supposed to be my storage center with my recall system, and I've actually kind of perfected that a bit more. And then you had this up here, and this is the sorting system, which was supposed to sort everything into these barrels here, which would then drain into this, and yada yada yada, which I didn't really like because it feels cramped down here, and I was trying to put lights in here, and I really did not like this. And then I didn't like this. So, and this was my original me trying to build a potion shop, which again, this doesn't look right. You know, I mean, it looks horrible. And then if you come down here, you know, it's just worse because then I have all this here on either side. And I'll show you why in a minute. And then you get this next bottom layer because I had no room. I did not like this potion shop to put, you know, to save my life, so it's just ugly. And this is the reason for the massive areas that are needed is all this. Now the reason that one of them is different is because there's an extra setup over here. So this one here is just a regular setup where you have all the equipment and everything. And then when you come down on this side, you know, it has nothing. You just pick your potions up right here. This one, however, loads all your potions from here and sends them into a shulker box, which is loaded. This is for my shulker parts. I don't know why that's in there. So my loaded shulker comes up and it actually goes into this chest, so I got the signs wrong. So this is a very complicated mess down here, and I will go ahead and take you elsewhere to show you the complicated mess. Okay. I know I'm not as organized as, like, say, Mumbo Jumbo or anything. I'm very disorganized. Now, I was looking again. This is from White Sun Paladin, and I don't know where he got this one from either. So again, but this was my favorite design. So you're going to start with the chest with a hopper going into the back of it and a cobweb. The cobweb will catch your shulker. This chest here is my input for my shulker. And then I have another. I'm just gonna do this. Pretend that they're, you know, so because this here, let's say there's a chest up there and it's gonna have shulker parts, so I can load shulker parts in here. As you can see, there's already some shulker parts. I just need the chest in there, but that's what that's gonna be for. And I can have that going in any orientation on this side, or the top. This, which then feeds into here because it's my automatic crafter, and it'll automatically craft a new shulker when this is empty. If I had parts in it. So let me do. Let me just give me a shulker out real fast and put all this junk in my shulker. Da 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 da. Because I just been messing with a bunch of things. Okay, so let's go in here and let me find my potions. And let me just get a bunch of, oops, not, just a bunch of random potions, which I believe is like 18 potions that it'll hold. So let me open up this, which you can open up no matter what you're doing. Need a few more rows. Okay, let's go down here and I'm just gonna pick a bunch of random potions again. And again, I'm still gonna just pick a bunch of random potions. Let me pull that one out of there. Okay, so now I have a bunch of random potions. Now we're gonna watch, so I need one more potion to be put in there. So I'm just gonna take these potions and I'm just gonna start quickly loading them in there. So when that loaded up, you saw it real fast because it happened really fast. This shulker broke, and the shulker is now in here with the other shulker box and my random potions. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some more random potions, and this works with this particular loading system works. I'm just going to unload one of these shulkers here, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it on. Watch. Okay, so I'm just going to load it there. And then do that, so that'll unload and load everything into here, which then breaks, goes into there, and then it starts loading more potions. And again, this one will not fill up. Okay, so there is that. Now, so above that, you're going to have this, which is just a regular piston, and then you're going to have this, and then coming out from there, you're going to have a block with a torch above it. You're going to have a redstone comparator, reading the context of the shulker box, so when it is full, and you can have single stack items in here, and it'll work. You know, you can have items in here that'll stack up to 64, and it'll still work. So let me finish loading. So let me just break this one, and then it will. Okay, let's just say I have a bunch of random. I'm going to use a shulker box for this so I can show you guys. So, unless every slot is full, it will not fire. So let's just randomly do that. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to pick up this shulker box. And I'm just going to stand up here. And I'm going to start watching that shulker box unload. Now, for some reason, this didn't dispense like it's supposed to. Oh, that's right. So I'm just going to put a shulker box there. Everything's going to start loading into it. Now, we're just going to sit here and watch this part. And yes, I know these are very, very freaking slow. Ooh, sweet, my book updated. Don't mind me. So we're just gonna sit here and wait for this to finish what it's doing. And as you can see, it's not unloading the shulker because my shulker box is not full whatsoever. If I wanted to help this along, I could, but I'm not going to. Now my curiosity is why the one stopped at 30. But we're just gonna let it run its course. Wrong book. Okay, we're still slowly getting there. Oh, the frustration. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this go because it, obviously, and I can help this out a little bit by pulling some of these and just gonna leave the one. So then I'm just gonna go ahead and start filing these in because I'm tired of waiting on this. So as you can see, this will not fire until the last of these items are out, which is 38 of them. And we're just gonna sit here and kind of watch. When it gets close to the 64 items, I will back out of this so you can see exactly what's going on. And this design is very reliable. Oh, right, because the last of those haven't come in yet. Like, me and my stupidity. Oh, there you go. And that, so from here, you're going to have a redstone dust, a redstone torch, a redstone dust, another redstone dust here into this comparator, a redstone torch, and then down here another redstone torch, which makes this setup really, really reliable. You can pause this video at any moment if you need to. So I'll back up to where I was at before. Again, I'm just, and my son has a habit of destroying things in this world, hence all the holes everywhere. So we already went over this and covered this area here, and then we're going to cover this. So this here is my recall system. Now you will have to go down to wherever your storage system is to activate it. Uh, And I haven't actually finished this. Excuse me. Because you are going to need a lever. And this is the annoyance because you need, and I've shown this off before, so and that's just the same system that you guys have seen before in a different video. So go check it out. But yeah, so this is my dropper, which is going to send items across the ice up here, all the way up the shaft. And I had to block this off because items were going up here and bouncing everywhere. And then I had to put 2 more ice blocks here. Again, why does that keep getting frozen? Ugh, frustration. Everything's fine until I walk away from it. So you might run into that issue more often than not, where your items get frozen, or your water gets frozen. So anyways, your water, everything, I'm going to go ahead and just, I'm not going to worry about it. Let's get rid of all that. So items are going to flow across here, hit this water stream, and then go through this system here, which will send everything into the barrels here. So in order to didn't have, this flat surface above here, I had to extend everything up. So here's your original barrel, and then I put a hopper on top of that, and then another barrel, which then had a hopper on top of that, the hopper going into this T system here, which locks this hopper until the right item goes in, which would be, at this point, nether warts. And again, there's nothing in here, no hopper stopper or anything like that because I have not quite finished all this, but I wanted to get a video out to you guys. So this is what you're going to be doing. And then this here is your hopper red line, which is going to take everything that's getting, and as it goes, this is your filter system, your storage system filter. Okay, so with that, we're going to go over here and ding. Again, you have and this is our little walkway for it because you get a lot of redstone going on back here. So it's recessed one back into the wall so that, and then there's the walkways coming out. This is for our basement. This will be in the basement of any apothecary you make, along with this. So this is what I wanted to show everyone. Okay, so you guys have seen these storage systems where it's either all 4 chests stacked above each other, or like this where uh, the top chest filters down to the next chest, to the next chest, to the very last chest, and again your filtration system. My favorite part of all this is my recall system. And it's one tileable all the way down. So all it is a lever and a repeater. That's it. Nothing else. Just that. So you have a hopper coming down from the chest leading into your line, which will take everything to your dropper, which will then send it up this and again into your system. Now, if I put an item, let's put a couple of random items into the chest. Let's go a couple of these. So that's one too many. So let's put 10 of these in here. Okay, they will not go into this hopper until I flick this. And now you can see items going through, flick it again, and items stop. Even if they're inside of there, inside this hopper, they would stop. So I can improve that by putting 6 in there. Okay, no, I can't, because that doesn't work. So as long as the items are in the chest, they're stopped. And right now they're not going to go up here and into there because I haven't finished the system. And the system has been shown off before. No, where did everything? Hold on, there's a break in the system somewhere. This one. And this one. So had I not had two breaks in the system, they would have gone all the way down to my dropper, which I need a dropper clock to make work, which I showed off in a previous video. So if you haven't checked that out, go check it out. I don't edit my videos, and I might have to start editing my videos. So that is my recall system. So if I want, and I need to put into this a system, an overflow protection system. Don't mind this, was just me screwing around. Trying to figure out this. So this here is from Rogue Fox, and it's basically, let's say I want, let me just pick a random potion. Let's say I want night vision. I'll get a bunch of night vision potions. I'm going to put my night vision potions in here, and I believe that my currency is MI. Why does this always happen? Okay, so in here I need to have 1, 2. Why is that not working? Why is everything going down here? It's not right. Did something get broken? Okay, so in here I need to have, let's say, 4 items. Okay, something is broken. Yeah, I know it's broken. Let me fix this. I swear to God, I'm the only one in here. Yeah, I'm the only one in the world. So why did that break? So I'm going to put that back there, and then I'm going to go ahead and fix this now, because this should not... Why did I do that? This shouldn't be broken. Okay, there's like that. Okay, so now everything's activated correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and take and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put this to my... And then I'm going to put my 5 emeralds in there. I'm going to need a few more hay bales. And of course, what I needed, it's missing. Yeah, where did it go? I swear I had... There's my anvil. Oh, so I did break it on this one here. Back here for the comparator, you're going to want to put blocks just like this. 7, 5, 5, and 5. I'm going to take out my hay bales from here because I don't really need them in there right now. And I need them elsewhere right now. So we're going to take those out, and then we're going to go back over here. And we're going to fix this. So down in this one, you're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4 there. Nope, nope, 5. You're going to want 4. And then this one here, you're going to want 1. So then, I have a bunch of night potions, which are now in here. And let's put one in here. So let's just say now I have a bunch of emeralds. I'm going to take my emeralds and I'm going to put all of them in here. And they're going to filter through the system. And as they filter through the system, that's going to be sending a signal, which will then tell the system how many potions I'm buying. I gotta wait for this to finish. Okay, so I got 5 emeralds left. All of my emeralds should be... Why did that go in there? Oh, why is that sitting at 64 emeralds? That should be sitting at 64. Okay, I messed something up again. I'll be right back, guys. I'll catch you in a few minutes. I'm gonna start loading up part 2.